The first time I heard the cry, I thought the station's pressure seals had ruptured. It wasn't loud in the way explosions are loud. It was sharp,
piercing,
vibrating through metal and bone alike. The kind of sound that makes your instincts scream something is wrong. I was elbow-deep in a plasma conduit beneath the royal hangar of the E3 capital ship when it started. Tools rattled off the rack. Diagnostic screens flickered. My comm unit emitted a shrill burst of static. Engineer Hayes barked the palace overseer through the interference. Report to the inner spire immediately.
That was not a request.
I wiped conductive gel from my hands and slid out from under the conduit. I'd been on E3 Prime for 6 months as part of a human technical exchange program. Officially, we were there to share advancements in adaptive infrastructure. Unofficially, we were there to prove humanity wasn't just another volatile newcomer species. The E3 were old, ancient by galactic standards. Their starfaring history predated human civilization by tens of thousands of years. Their monarchy was sacred, their traditions rigid, their technology so advanced it sometimes felt like sorcery. And right now, something inside their most secure palace was crying like the universe had offended it. The inner spire was a vertical labyrinth of crystalline corridors and shimmering energy veils. Guards lined the walls, armored in iridescent biometal, their elongated faces tense. As I approached the final chamber, the crying intensified. It wasn't just noise. It was resonance. The walls vibrated in harmonic patterns, light pulsing in rhythm with the infant's distress. The E3 were partially psionic. Emotion could influence their environment. This wasn't just a crying baby. It was a biological feedback loop threatening to destabilize the palace core. The doors parted, and I saw her, the queen in desperation. Queen Lysara of the E3 stood at the center of the chamber, her tall, luminous form bent protectively over a cradle of woven energy strands. Her normally radiant skin had dimmed to a dull violet, markings flickering erratically across her arms. In the cradle lay the source of the chaos. A small being, no larger than a human infant, but glowing faintly with raw psionic energy. Its tiny hands clenched and unclenched, and with every wail, the air rippled. A semicircle of E3 scientists and attendants surrounded the queen, speaking urgently in their harmonic language. "It will not stabilize," one of them said in accented standard. "Its resonance is escalating." The queen looked up as I entered. Her golden eyes locked onto mine. "Human," she said. I swallowed. "Your Majesty." The baby screamed again. A shockwave pulsed outward, knocking 2 attendants off their feet. The energy cradle flickered dangerously. "The child refuses nourishment," said one of the attendants. "It rejects all caretakers." The queen's voice trembled, not with weakness, but with something far more unsettling.
3 cycles, she said.
It has not rested. 3 cycles for the E3 meant nearly 48 human hours. Even human infants couldn't cry that long without collapsing from exhaustion. "What do you need me for?" I asked. A senior advisor stepped forward. "Your species emits unusually stable bioelectric patterns. Human neural waves are linear, predictable." "Are you saying I'm boring?" I muttered. He blinked confused. "We're saying you're calm." Another cry shook the chamber. The queen stepped aside from the cradle. "Hold my child," she said. The room froze. Every attendant stiffened in shock. A foreigner. A human. "Touch the royal heir?" "Your Majesty," an advisor whispered urgently. She did not look at him. "Hold my child," she repeated. Middle. The silence that changed everything. I approached slowly. I'd never held an alien baby before. Hell, I'd barely held human ones. My sister had a kid back on Earth, but I'd mostly stuck to awkward waves and offering to fix broken toys. The cradle dissolved at my touch, energy strands retracting. The infant's glow intensified, as if preparing another sonic assault. "Hey," I said quietly, because that's what you say to babies. Across species, apparently. I slipped my hands beneath the small, trembling body.
Warm.
Surprisingly solid. The child's skin shimmered with faint iridescence. Its eyes, large, unfocused, met mine. And then, silence. Not gradual, not fading, instant. The crying stopped mid-wail. The energy fluctuation ceased. The chamber lights stabilized. The infant blinked once, then made a soft cooing sound and clutched the front of my uniform. The entire royal court stared at me. I stared back. "Well," I said weakly, "that's new." The queen exhaled, a long, shuddering breath. The advisors exchanged stunned glances. "It has chosen," one of them whispered. "Chosen?" I asked. The baby yawned. A theory no one expected. Over the next hour, they ran scans while I remained seated in a ceremonial chamber, the royal air asleep against my chest. Every time an attendant tried to take the child back, the infant's breathing quickened, faint whimpers forming. So I held on. The queen sat across from me, studying both of us. "It has not reacted this way to any ethery," she said quietly. "Maybe I reminded of something," I offered. "Our species has no resemblance to yours." "Not physically," I said. "But emotionally?" She tilted her head. I explained as best I could. Human infants regulate themselves through touch. Skin-to-skin contact stabilizes heart rate, breathing, even stress hormones. Maybe your child's psionic field is amplifying its emotional state. The senior advisor's eyes widened. "The air's neural emissions are mirroring yours." I blinked. "Is that bad?" "They are smoother, less chaotic." The queen leaned forward. "You are not afraid." "I've been yelled at by ship captains running late on fuel deliveries," I said. "This is manageable." Her lips curved faintly. "For 3 cycles, my child has felt only panic. The court's fear, my own anxiety, the physician's desperation. It fed the storm. And I'm just not part of that loop," I said slowly. The advisor nodded. "Your species lacks innate psionic broadcast. You are quiet in the mind." I grinned. First time that's ever been called a strength. Conflict. Tradition versus instinct. Words spread rapidly through the capital. The alien queen's baby, future ruler of the ethery, would only rest in the arms of a human engineer. Some saw it as a miracle. Others saw it as a threat. During a private council session, I was asked to step outside while they debated. Through the crystalline walls, I could see gestures becoming sharp, agitated. One elder spoke passionately, clearly objecting. When the doors reopened, the queen's expression was composed but firm. "There are concerns," she said carefully. "Of course there are," I replied. "There always are. Some believe reliance on an off-worlder undermines royal sanctity." I looked down at the sleeping infant. "I don't want power," I said. "I fix things. That's it." "You have already fixed something we could not," she replied. The implication hung in the air. "You want me to stay," I said. "I want my child to live," she answered, no hesitation in her voice. That settled it. The bond that formed. Days turned into weeks. I was given quarters within the inner spire. My engineering duties were reassigned. Instead, I became something unprecedented in ethery history.